Forget mass-produced. Today, we're diving into the fun of making your own ephemera, from labels to tickets to little bits of beautiful chaos. And the best part? You get to pick the colors, the shapes, and the vibe. Grab those clear stamps, and let's get inky. Hi, it's time once again for coffee, crafting, and cats with the Ginger Cat Lady. I'm Pam, and Harley is still in California, and I'm still in Australia, so no Harley spottings for the next 12, 11-ish days, I think. I know, I'm just as sad about it, but we shall live. Alrighty, so today is the letter H in the hashtag ABC April 2025 collab. And for the letter H, I am doing handmade ephemera. And we are going to use some of our clear stamps and some inks, some distress watercolor pencils, our watercolor pencil brushes, and and some watercolor paper to make some really cool ephemera that we can make whatever color we want. We can make it and customize it to our specific journals. And I'll show you how we can do that. All right, let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I apologize for my setup here. Like I said, I'm in Australia. I'm traveling, and we had planned this, but I hadn't planned into it that I would be doing something like this. So I brought my stuff with me, but hopefully later today we'll be heading off to JB Hi-Fi to see if I can find some sort of a tripod setup that's a little bit better than this. But in the meantime, we are very precariously balanced on 3 books that are standing vertical and 5 books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 books that are sitting horizontal on top of those, with my iPhone hanging all but about that much of it off the edge of the books, with my actual camera sitting on the iPhone, the end of the iPhone, to weigh it down so it doesn't flip over. So hopefully I don't bump this book right here and make all of London Bridge come tumbling down. I guess it wouldn't be London Bridge. What's the bridge? The Harbor Bridge. Make the Harbor Bridge come tumbling down. So I'm either going to go to JB Hi-Fi, or I might challenge, and I'm thinking I might do this. I might challenge my 2 grandsons to use their blocks to create me something that I can use to put my camera on while we're here. So we'll see. I think that would be a little bit more fun than going and buying a tripod. So, all right, so let's get started. I've got my watercolor paper here. This is a pad of watercolor paper from Dollar Tree, only $3. And it's thick. It's 350 GSM, and it's really thick paper. I mean, look at the thick of that. There's the thickness of that. It's not very bendable. So it's very lovely paper, and it's got a nice texture to it as well. And then I've got a bunch of stamps here. I've got a set of Tim Holtz buried down here somewhere. I've got the eccentric stamps here, and then a bunch that are from Temu. I do not know if these are remakes of other people's other artists' stamps, and if they are, I apologize. But when I first started, it was all I had money for. So, alrighty. The other thing you're going to need is some permanent ink that isn't going to be affected when we go to add the color to it later. So this is Distress Archival ink in the black soot color, and it is acid-free and permanent and waterproof. So this is really good to stamp with. So to start with, I'm just going to stamp a whole lot of images. I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to stamp, 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 and add some music to it, and then we'll come back to the fun part after that. All right. Voiceover Pam here with a couple stamping tips for you. When inking up your stamps, try placing your stamp on the block face up on your table, and then pressing your ink pad down onto the stamp instead of the other way around. This gives you way more control. You can see exactly how much ink you're applying and get more even coverage, especially for those detailed or larger stamps. And when you're working with clear stamps, place the stamp face up face down on your surface with the back facing up, then press your acrylic block down onto it. This little trick makes it so much easier to get those long, skinny stamps on straight. No more wonky text or wavy lines. I hope those tips help make your stamping a little bit smoother and a lot more fun. I'm using the Tim Holtz Distress watercolor pencils, and honestly, I'm obsessed. The colors match so closely with the Distress inks and oxides that it's like second nature to work with them. Since I already know how these shades behave, there's absolutely no guessing to what the colors are, and I get the same rich, grungy vibes that I love, but in watercolor form. You just scribble a bit of color onto your stamped images. No need to stay inside the lines or be super precise. Just get the color on there and let the next step do the magic. Next up, I'm using a water brush pen to activate the color. I give it just a gentle squeeze to release a bit of the water and then brush it right over where I added the watercolor pencil. It instantly softens and blends that pigment, and it's like the color wakes up and stretches across the paper. It's so cool. You can control how bold or how subtle it looks depending on how much water you use, and the whole process is super relaxing and forgiving. Seriously, it's a little bit of magic in every single stroke. I love it. And just like that, we've turned a few stamps into a pile of custom ephemera ready for your next journaling session. If this gave you ideas, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, may your scraps be endless and your glue never run dry. See you in the next one. Bye.